The Galactic Council's Dilemma. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, where countless civilizations had risen and fallen over millennia, the Galactic Council stood as a beacon of order and progress. For eons, they had guided the development of younger races, maintained the delicate balance of power, and safeguarded the secrets of the universe. But now, in the grand chamber of the Council's headquarters on Zephyria Prime, an uncomfortable silence hung in the air. High Counselor Zixera, a being of pure energy encased in an ornate containment suit, addressed the assembly. Esteemed colleagues, we face an unprecedented situation. The humans of Earth have become problematic. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Earth, a backwater planet in an unremarkable solar system, had long been considered inconsequential. But in recent decades, the humans had advanced at an alarming rate, defying all predicted models of technological and social evolution. They have achieved faster than light travel centuries before our projections, continued Zixera, her voice tinged with a mixture of awe and concern. Their colonies are expanding rapidly, and their influence in galactic affairs grows daily. We can no longer ignore the potential threat they pose to the established order. Grolax, the reptilian representative from the Draconis Federation, hissed in agreement. We should have contained them when we first detected their radio signals. Now they're spreading like a virus across the galaxy. Calm yourself, Grolax, chided Ilara, the serene aquatic diplomat from Oceania Prime. The humans have shown remarkable adaptability and innovation. Perhaps we should consider bringing them into the fold rather than treating them as a threat. The chamber erupted into heated debate. Some council members argued for immediate action to curtail human expansion, while others advocated for a more diplomatic approach. As the arguments intensified, Zixera raised a glowing appendage, silencing the assembly. We have debated this matter for too long, she declared. The humans have already rebuffed our subtle attempts at control and manipulation. Their leaders are too clever, too unpredictable. We must take decisive action. With a gesture, Zixera activated a holographic display in the center of the chamber. It showed detailed profiles of key human leaders, politicians, scientists, and military commanders who had been instrumental in humanity's rapid ascent. These individuals are the driving force behind Earth's expansion, Zixera explained. They have consistently outmaneuvered our agents and resisted our influence. If we remove them, the human threat will be neutralized, and we can guide their civilization back onto a more manageable path. A cold silence fell over the chamber as the implications of Zixera's words sank in. Ilara was the first to speak, her voice trembling slightly. High Counselor, surely you're not suggesting. I am, Zixera confirmed. We will deploy the shadows. The mention of the shadows sent a shiver through the assembly. The shadows were the Galactic Council's ultimate secret weapon, a cadre of elite assassins drawn from the most lethal species in the galaxy. For millennia, they had operated in absolute secrecy, eliminating threats to galactic stability without leaving a trace. Grolax's eyes gleamed with approval. Yes, let the shadows do what they do best. Cut off the head of the human serpent, and the body will wither. Not all council members shared his enthusiasm. Ilara raised her voice in protest. This is a dangerous escalation. If the humans discover our involvement, it could lead to open war. We've never deployed the shadows against a species with faster-than-light capabilities before. Zixera's containment suit pulsed with intense light, reflecting her determination. The decision is made. The risk of inaction far outweighs the potential consequences. We will send our finest shadows to Earth, and they will eliminate these human leaders with their usual efficiency. Without their visionaries to guide them, humanity will falter, and we will be there to assist them back onto the right path. As the council session adjourned, preparations began in earnest. Deep within a hidden moon base, the most elite cadre of shadows ever assembled received their mission briefing. They were a diverse group, each chosen for their unique skills and adaptations that made them perfect for infiltrating and operating on Earth. Gazarloth, a shapeshifter from the mists of Proteus, could assume any humanoid form at will. Kizin, with skin that could bend light around him, was practically invisible to the naked eye. Zeph, a diminutive creature with unparalleled hacking abilities, could infiltrate any computer system. And leading them was Drekthar, a veteran shadow with over 1,000 successful eliminations to his name. As the shadows studied their targets and prepared their weapons, a sense of anticipation filled the air. This mission was unlike any they had undertaken before, but their confidence was absolute. After all, how could a young, fractious species like humanity possibly stand against the most lethal killers the galaxy had ever produced? Little did they know that Earth had surprises in store, surprises that would challenge everything the Galactic Council thought they knew about humanity and their place in the cosmos. As the Shadow's stealth ship slipped out of hyperspace on the outskirts of the Sol system, Drekthar gathered his team for a final briefing. "Remember," he growled, his 4 eyes narrowing, "these humans are cleverer than they appear. But they are still primitive compared to us. We strike fast, we strike hard, and we disappear. By the time they realize what's happened, we'll be long gone, and the galaxy will be a safer place." The assassins nodded in silent agreement, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. As their ship began its silent approach to Earth, none of them could have imagined that this mission would change the course of galactic history, and that the hunters were about to become the hunted. Humanity's secret weapon. The nondescript office building in downtown Washington, D.C. buzzed with activity, but not the kind one might expect. Behind its unremarkable facade lay the nerve center of Earth's most advanced defense initiative, Project Prometheus. Here, in rooms shielded from every known form of surveillance, humanity's brightest minds worked tirelessly to protect their species from threats beyond the stars. Dr. Samantha Chen, the project's lead scientist, stared at the holographic display dominating the central command room. Red dots representing unknown alien signatures blinked at the edge of the solar system. "They're here," she announced, her voice calm but tinged with tension. The room fell silent as her words sank in. They had been preparing for this moment for years, but now that it had arrived, the weight of responsibility felt crushing. General Marcus Blackwood, a grizzled veteran who had seen humanity through first contact and beyond, stepped forward. "How many?" "We've detected 5 distinct signatures," Samantha replied. "Based on their energy emissions and stealth capabilities, they match the profile of the assassins we've been warned about." Blackwood nodded grimly. Ever since humanity had made its presence known on the galactic stage, there had been whispers of a shadowy force that eliminated threats to the established order. Earth's rapid advancement and refusal to bow to the Galactic Council's subtle manipulations had painted a target on their backs. "Activate Prometheus Protocol," Blackwood ordered, "and alert all primary targets. It's time to see if our preparations pay off." Across the globe, key human leaders received encrypted messages on specially designed quantum entangled devices. Presidents, prime ministers, pioneering scientists, and military commanders, all those who had been instrumental in humanity's leap to the stars, were now on high alert. But humanity's true defense lay not in warnings or evacuations. In labs and secret facilities around the world, a revolutionary technology was about to face its ultimate test. On the outskirts of London, Dr. Emily Watson, one of Earth's leading physicists, calmly sipped her tea as she reviewed the alert on her secure tablet. She knew she was likely one of the assassins' primary targets. Her breakthroughs in wormhole stabilization had catapulted human space exploration forward by centuries. As she set down her cup, a shimmer in the air caught her attention. Years of paranoia-induced training kicked in, and she activated the small device on her wrist without hesitation. Tazarloth, in the guise of a nondescript delivery man, froze in mid-step. The shapeshifter had been moments away from striking, but now found himself unable to move or change form. It was as if he had been encased in invisible amber. "Fascinating, isn't it?" Emily remarked, standing up to examine her would-be assassin. "We call it a quantum stasis field. Took us years to perfect, but I'd say it was worth the effort. Across the Atlantic, in a high-tech laboratory in Silicon Valley, Zeph encountered a different kind of surprise. The diminutive alien had easily bypassed the facility's outer security, his advanced hacking skills making short work of Earth's primitive systems. But as he attempted to access the central mainframe, he found himself falling through an endless digital void. In reality, Zeph's consciousness had been trapped in a closed-loop quantum server, a digital maze from which even his advanced alien mind couldn't escape. Dr. Alex Rodriguez, the lab's head of cybersecurity, allowed himself a small smile as he watched the alien's digital form flail in confusion. "Welcome to the honeypot," he murmured. "Let's see what secrets you can tell us about your masters." Meanwhile, in the crowded streets of Tokyo, Kizin's light-bending camouflage proved useless against the advanced sensors developed by Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka. The renowned roboticist had created a network of nanobots that could detect even the slightest disturbance in the air, rendering Kizin's invisibility obsolete. As the alien assassin found himself surrounded by a swarm of microscopic robots, each capable of delivering a potent neurotoxin, he realized with growing dread that this mission was nothing like the simple elimination jobs he had grown accustomed to. Back in Washington, Samantha and Blackwood watched as reports flooded in from around the world. One by one, the alien assassins were being neutralized, their advanced technologies proving ineffective against Earth's carefully prepared defenses. "It's working," Samantha breathed, a mix of relief and excitement in her voice. All those years of reverse engineering crashed alien ships, all the covert intelligence gathering. It's paid off. Blackwood allowed himself a grim smile. "Don't celebrate yet, Doctor. We've survived the first wave, but you can bet the Galactic Council won't take this lying down. This is just the beginning." As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the command center. Samantha's eyes widened as she interpreted the incoming data. "General, we're detecting a massive energy surge at the edge of the solar system. It looks like..." "Oh no." The main screen flickered to life, showing a massive portal tearing open the fabric of space. Through it emerged a sight that made even the battle-hardened Blackwood catch his breath. A fleet of warships, their designs varied and alien, but their purpose clear. "Looks like the Council's done with subtlety," Blackwood growled. "Sound the global alert. It's time for humanity to show the galaxy what we're really capable of." As the alien armada approached, humanity stood on the brink of its greatest challenge. The assassins had been just the beginning. Now, the true test of Earth's ingenuity and determination was at hand. The next few hours would determine not just the fate of humanity, but the future of the entire galaxy. In secret bunkers and hidden bases around the world, weapons and technologies that had been developed in anticipation of this very moment were brought online. Humanity had known this day might come, and they had prepared accordingly. Now it was time to fight not just for survival, but for their rightful place among the stars. The hunt turns. In the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, chaos reigned. The serene atmosphere that had defined this august body for millennia had evaporated, replaced by a cacophony of angry voices and accusations. At the center of the storm stood High Counselor Zixara, her containment suit flickering erratically, reflecting her agitation. "Impossible," roared Grolax, slamming his scaled fist on the ornate table. "How could mere humans defeat our most elite shadows? This is unprecedented." Ilara, the aquatic diplomat, raised her voice above the din. "I warned you this course of action was foolish. Now we face the very war we sought to prevent." Zixara's voice cut through the arguments like a laser. "Enough. What's done is done. We must deal with the situation at hand." Admiral Krovac, report. A hologram flickered to life in the center of the chamber, revealing a stern-faced alien with multiple eye stalks and gleaming exoskeleton. "Counselors, I regret to inform you that we have lost all contact with our shadows on Earth. Furthermore, our long-range sensors have detected a significant buildup of energy within the Sol system. The humans appear to be mobilizing for war. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Their attempt at surgical strikes had failed spectacularly, and now they faced open conflict with a species they had gravely underestimated. Zixara's containment suit pulsed with determined energy. "We have no choice. We must crush this human rebellion before it spreads. Admiral, deploy the fleet. Show these upstarts the true might of the Galactic Council." As the Council's warships poured through the hastily constructed wormhole at the edge of the Sol system, Earth's defenders watched with a mixture of apprehension and grim determination. In orbital stations and planetary defense centers, humans and their alien allies, species who had chafed under the Council's rule and saw in humanity a chance for change, prepared for the coming storm. Aboard the EDS Prometheus, Earth's most advanced battleship, Admiral Yuki Tanaka addressed her crew. "Men and women of Earth, and our honored allies, the moment we've long prepared for is here. The Galactic Council fought to snuff out our light before it could truly shine. They thought us weak, primitive, unworthy of our place among the stars. Today, we proved them wrong." A cheer went up throughout the ship, echoed across the communications channels by vessels throughout Earth's defensive fleet. As the enemy approached, humanity's secret weapons were unveiled. Massive generators on Earth's surface and throughout the solar system hummed to life, creating an interlocking network of quantum fields that played havoc with the Council ship's sensors and weapon systems. Vessels that had conquered countless worlds found themselves flying blind, their fearsome armaments rendered useless. But Earth's defenders didn't stop there. Years of studying recovered alien technology had led to breakthroughs that the Council's complacent scientists had never imagined. Swarms of automated drones, each equipped with miniaturized wormhole generators, blinked in and out of existence around the enemy fleet. They struck with surgical precision, disabling engines and weapons before vanishing, only to reappear elsewhere. Admiral Krovac, watching his mighty armada flail ineffectually against the human defenses, felt a sensation he had never experienced in his centuries of military service. "Fear. This is impossible," he muttered, his eye stalks waving in agitation. "How could they have developed such technologies without our knowledge?" The answer, of course, lay in humanity's greatest strength, the very unpredictability and adaptability that had so alarmed the Council. Free from the constraints of ancient traditions and hidebound thinking, human scientists had looked at alien tech with fresh eyes, finding applications and improvements that their original creators had never considered. The hunt turns. As the battle raged across the solar system, the tide began to turn. Earth's defenders, once thought to be outmatched, were proving to be far more formidable than the Galactic Council had anticipated. On Mars, a hidden base activated, revealing row upon row of humanoid mechs. These machines, piloted by Earth's most skilled operators, had been designed using a combination of reverse-engineered alien tech and human ingenuity. They launched from the red planet's surface, their wormhole drives allowing them to appear instantly amidst the Council's fleet. Aboard the Council's flagship, Admiral Krovac watched in horror as these mechs tore through his ship's defenses with ease. "What manner of abominations are these?" he hissed, his exoskeleton clicking in agitation. The mechs, armed with weapons that fired miniature black holes and wielded energy shields that could withstand the heat of a sun, made short work of the Council's vaunted warships. But it wasn't just their advanced technology that made them effective. It was the human pilot's creativity and adaptability, traits that the Council's forces, used to fighting predictable battles against known foes, struggled to counter. Back on Earth, in the command center of Project Prometheus, Dr. Samantha Chen and General Blackwood coordinated the defense. Holographic displays showed the battle raging across the solar system, with Earth's forces consistently outmaneuvering their opponents. "We've got them on the run," Blackwood growled, a fierce grin on his weathered face. "Time to press our advantage." Samantha nodded, her fingers flying over a holographic interface. "Activating Phase 2. Let's show them what humanity can really do. Across the solar system, hidden installations hummed to life. On Europa, massive generators began harvesting the energy of the moon's subsurface ocean. On Venus, heat sinks that had been absorbing the planet's intense temperatures for years prepared to release their stored energy. And in the asteroid belt, swarms of nanobots that had been quietly mining and replicating for decades assembled themselves into a vast, artificial ring around the sun. As one, these installations activated, forming an interlocking network of energy fields that enveloped the entire solar system. The Council's fleet found itself trapped, cut off from reinforcements, and retreat. Admiral Krovac, watching his tactical displays light up with warnings, realized the full extent of the humans' preparations. By the first ones, he whispered, "They've turned their entire system into a weapon." On Earth, cheers erupted in the command center as the trap was sprung. But Samantha's face remained serious. "This isn't over yet," she cautioned. "We've contained them, but the Council still has teeth." As if to prove her point, several of the larger Council ships began to power up weapons of terrifying destructive potential, planet killers, capable of reducing entire worlds to ash. Blackwood's eyes narrowed. They wouldn't dare. Even they must realize that such an action would doom us all. Samantha shook her head. "Fear makes beings of all species irrational, General. We need to end this now, before desperation drives them to unthinkable actions." Across encrypted channels, a message was sent to all of Earth's defenders. Initiate Operation Checkmate. In the depths of space, the human fleet began a coordinated maneuver, herding the Council's ships into a tight formation. At the same time, the massive ring constructed in the asteroid belt began to glow with otherworldly energy. Aboard the Council's flagship, alarms blared as sensors detected an enormous power buildup. Admiral Krovac, realizing that defeat was imminent, opened a channel to the Galactic Council. "High Counselor," he reported, his voice heavy with shame. "We have failed. The humans, they are beyond anything we could have imagined. I recommend immediate surrender, before." His transmission was cut short as a blinding light engulfed the Council's fleet. For a moment, it seemed as if a new sun had been born in the solar system. When the light faded, the Council's mighty armada was gone, replaced by a shimmering portal of energy. In the Project Prometheus command center, Samantha let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. It worked. The solar synchronization drive actually worked. Blackwood looked at her, a mixture of awe and concern on his face. "Where did we send them, Doctor?" Samantha's lips quirked in a small smile. "To an uninhabited system about 10,000 light-years from here. Their ships are intact, but it'll take them quite a while to get back to Council space, more than enough time for us to prepare our next move." As the realization of their victory sank in, celebrations erupted across Earth and its colonies. Humanity had not only survived its first true interstellar war, but had emerged victorious against a foe that had dominated the galaxy for millennia. But in the Project Prometheus command center, the mood remained serious. They had won the battle, but the war was far from over. The Galactic Council would not take this defeat lightly, and humanity's actions would have far-reaching consequences across the cosmos. As the solar system's defenses powered down and repair crews began their work, Samantha and Blackwood shared a look of understanding. This was just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, and now they would need to navigate the treacherous waters of interstellar politics. The hunt had indeed turned, but the true challenge, reshaping the galaxy into a place where humanity and all species could thrive freely, was just beginning. Assassins in disarray. In the wake of Earth's stunning victory over the Galactic Council's fleet, the elite assassins known as the Shadows found themselves in an unprecedented situation. For the first time in their long and secretive history, they had not only failed in their mission, but had been thoroughly outmaneuvered by their intended targets. On a cloaked ship drifting in the Oort cloud, the remnants of the Shadow team gathered to assess their situation. Trek Thar, the veteran leader, paced the bridge, his four eyes darting nervously between holographic displays showing the aftermath of the battle. "This is unprecedented," he growled, mandibles clicking in agitation. "In all my centuries, I've never seen a species turn the tables so completely." Kazarloth, the shapeshifter, had managed to escape his quantum stasis field, but the experience had left him shaken. Their technology, it's beyond anything we were briefed on. How could our intelligence have been so wrong? Zeph, the hacker, was still reeling from his encounter with Earth's digital defenses. "It's not just their tech," he chittered, compound eyes blinking rapidly. "Their minds work differently. They don't think like any species we've encountered before." Kizin, the near-invisible assassin, remained silent, his form barely a shimmer in the air. The failure of his camouflage against human sensors had shattered his confidence. As the team debated their next move, a transmission cut through their secure channels, a feat that should have been impossible. On the main screen, the face of Dr. Samantha Chen appeared, her expression stern but not unkind. "Shadows of the Galactic Council," she began, "we know you're out there, and we know you're listening. Your mission has failed. Your fleet has been neutralized. It's time to face reality. The old order of the galaxy is changing." Drekthar snarled, reaching to cut the transmission, but Samantha's next words stopped him cold. "We're not your enemies unless you choose to make us so. Humanity is offering you a choice, a chance to be part of something new, something better than the oppressive system you've served for so long." The shadows exchanged uneasy glances. Such an offer was unprecedented. Their loyalty to the Council had always been absolute, unquestioning. But now, faced with the reality of their failure and the incredible capabilities humanity had displayed, doubt began to creep in. Samantha continued, her voice carrying a note of challenge. "You've seen what we can do. You know we could hunt you down if we chose to. But that's not our way. We're explorers, innovators, dreamers. We want to build a galaxy where all species can thrive, freed from the shadows of fear and oppression. You can be part of that future, or you can cling to a past that's already crumbling." As the transmission ended, silence fell over the shadow ship. Each assassin was lost in thought, weighing a lifetime of loyalty against the promise of a new beginning. Zeph was the first to speak. "She's right about one thing. They could find us if they wanted to. Our best stealth tech is useless against their sensors." Sarloff nodded slowly. "And if they can do this to the Council's fleet, what chance do we stand alone?" Kizin's form solidified slightly as he joined the conversation. "But can we trust them? This could be a trap." Drekthar held up a hand for silence. "We need more information. If their offer is genuine, it could change everything. But we can't rush into this blindly." As the shadows debated, similar scenes were playing out across the galaxy. Other assassin teams, sleeper agents, and covered operatives of the Council were receiving the same message. Humanity's victory had sent shockwaves through the galactic underworld, and the once unshakable loyalty of the Council's hidden forces was beginning to fracture. On Earth, in a secure bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Samantha and General Blackwood monitored the reactions to their broadcast. "It's a risk," Blackwood grumbled, reaching out to them like this. "They're still dangerous." Samantha nodded. "Absolutely. But they're also valuable. Their skills, their knowledge of the Council's operations, it could be crucial in the coming days. And more importantly, showing mercy, offering a chance for redemption. That's what sets us apart from the Council." As they watched, indicators on their screens began to light up, encrypted messages from shadow teams and other covered operatives across the galaxy, expressing interest in defection. Blackwood's eyebrows rose. "Well, I'll be damned. Your crazy plan might just work, Doctor." Samantha allowed herself a small smile. "Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt, to see potential where others see only threats. If we can turn some of the galaxy's most dangerous assassins into allies, imagine what else we might achieve." But even as hope began to blossom, new challenges loomed on the horizon. The Galactic Council, reeling from its defeat, was rallying its remaining forces. In hidden shipyards and fortified worlds across the galaxy, new fleets were being assembled, drawing on technologies long held in reserve. The Council's defeat at Earth had shattered the illusion of its invincibility, and other species that had long chafed under its rule began to stir. Rebellions erupted on 100 worlds, inspired by humanity's victory. As reports flooded in from across the galaxy, Samantha and Blackwood shared a look of grim determination. They had won a great victory, but the real war, the war for the future of the galaxy, was just beginning. In the coming days, humanity would need every ally it could get, every scrap of knowledge and technology it could muster. The assassins, with their intimate knowledge of the Council's darkest secrets, could tip the balance. As the first defectors began to arrive on Earth, brought in under heavy guard to hidden facilities, the stage was set for the next phase of the conflict. Humanity had proven it could fight. Now it would need to prove it could lead. To forge a coalition strong enough to challenge the Galactic Council's millennia-long grip on power. The assassins, once the galaxy's most feared hunters, now found themselves at a crossroads. Their choice, to cling to the old ways or embrace an uncertain but promising future, would help shape the destiny of countless worlds. As Drekthar and his team cautiously approached Earth under a flag of truce, the veteran assassin felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Hope, perhaps, he mused. It was time for the shadows to step into the light. A new galactic order. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, once a symbol of unassailable power, now stood as a testament to a crumbling regime. High Counselor Zixera's containment suit flickered erratically, mirroring the chaos that had engulfed the galaxy in the weeks following humanity's shocking victory. "The outer systems are in open revolt," reported a haggard-looking Grolax, his scales dulled with stress. "Inspired by the humans, a dozen species have declared independence. Our loyalist fleets are spread thin trying to maintain order." Ilara, the aquatic diplomat, raised her voice. "And what of the shadows? Our most elite operatives are defecting en masse. Our intelligence network is in shambles." Zixera's voice crackled with barely contained fury. "Enough. We have ruled this galaxy for millennia. We will not be undone by these upstart humans and their allies. It's time to unleash our final contingency." As the Council prepared for a last, desperate gambit, Earth had become the center of a new galactic alliance. In a vast holographic conference room, representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered. Some attended in person, while others participated via advanced quantum entanglement communications. Dr. Samantha Chen stood at the center, flanked by General Blackwood and a diverse group of human and alien advisors. Among them, standing somewhat apart, was Drekthar, the former shadow assassin turned invaluable ally. "Friends, allies, fellow seekers of a free galaxy," Samantha began, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber and to worlds light years away. "We stand at a crossroads. The Galactic Council's grip on power is weakening, but they are far from defeated. Our victory has opened a door, but it's up to us to step through it together." As she spoke, holographic displays showed the current state of the galaxy. Worlds in rebellion, Council fleets in disarray, and the growing network of alliances centered on Earth. "Humanity doesn't seek to replace the Council as rulers of the galaxy," Samantha continued. "We propose a new way forward, a galactic federation, where every species has a voice, where innovation is celebrated rather than feared, and where the strong protect the weak instead of exploiting them." The chamber erupted in a mix of cheers, murmurs, and heated discussions. Not everyone was convinced, but the energy in the room was undeniable. Hope, long suppressed under the Council's rule, was blossoming across the galaxy. As the conference continued, with working groups forming to tackle issues of governance, defense, and scientific cooperation, an urgent alert cut through the proceedings. General Blackwood's face turned grim as he read the incoming data. "Doctor, he said quietly to Samantha. Long-range sensors have detected a massive energy buildup in the galactic core. It appears the Council is activating some kind of superweapon. Samantha's eyes widened. The Nexus, she breathed. Drekthar warned us about this. A device capable of reshaping reality itself. If they activate it, every gain we've made could be undone. Blackwood finished. They could rewrite history, erase our victory, maybe even erase humanity itself. Samantha turned to address the assembled allies. Friends, we've just received word of an imminent threat. The Council is preparing to use a weapon of unimaginable power. We need to act now, or everything we fought for will be lost. As she explained the situation, a hush fell over the chamber, followed by a swell of determined voices. Species that had been bitter enemies under the Council's divide and conquer rule now stood united, ready to face this final challenge together. Drekthar stepped forward. I know the defenses around the Nexus. With a combined fleet and the aid of my fellow defectors, we might have a chance to breach them. Plans were made at lightning speed. The newly formed Galactic Federation mustered its forces, a diverse armada of ships from 100 worlds, each bringing unique technologies and tactics to the fight. As the Allied fleet prepared to depart, Samantha addressed the crew of the flagship, the EDS Prometheus. The next few hours will determine the fate not just of humanity, but of all free peoples in the galaxy. But remember this, our strength lies not in our weapons, but in our unity, our creativity, and our unwavering belief in a better future. Together, there's nothing we cannot overcome. The journey to the galactic core was tense, with skirmishes against Loyalist Council forces along the way. But as news of the Alliance's mission spread, more and more worlds rose up, tying down the Council's fleets and clearing a path for the attackers. In the depths of the galactic core, the Nexus pulsed with terrifying energy. The Council's last defenders fought with the desperation of those who knew defeat meant the end of everything they had known. The battle was fierce, with losses on both sides. Human ingenuity, combined with the diverse skills and technologies of their allies, clashed against the Council's most advanced weapons. Drekthar and his fellow defectors proved invaluable, their inside knowledge allowing the Allied fleet to bypass many of the Council's defenses. In a final, desperate gambit, Samantha led a small team to infiltrate the Nexus itself. Fighting their way through waves of defenders, they reached the central chamber just as the device began to activate. High Counselor Zixera stood before the swirling vortex of the Nexus, her containment suit blazing with power. You're too late, she gloated, with a thought. I will undo your victory, rewrite the very fabric of the galaxy. But Samantha smiled, holding up a small device. You forgot one thing, Counselor. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to unite, to inspire others to greatness. With that, she activated the device, a miniature version of the quantum field generator that had protected Earth. The Nexus's energy flow faltered, caught in a localized time loop. Now, Drekthar, Samantha shouted. The former assassin moved with blinding speed, using skills honed over centuries to breach Zixera's defenses. In a flash, her containment suit was breached, and the High Counselor's energy form dissipated harmlessly into the air. As Allied forces secured the Nexus, the news spread across the galaxy. The Galactic Council, which had ruled for millennia, had fallen. A new era was dawning. In the days that followed, representatives from thousands of worlds gathered to sign the charter of the new Galactic Federation. The Nexus, its power harnessed for peace rather than domination, became the symbol of this new alliance, a tool for exploration and understanding rather than conquest. Samantha, standing with Blackwood, Drekthar, and allies from across the cosmos, watched as the first president of the Federation took the oath of office. We did it, Blackwood said gruffly, a rare smile on his face. Though I still can't quite believe it. Samantha nodded, her eyes on the stars visible through the station's vast windows. This is just the beginning. We got a whole galaxy to explore, to learn from, to help flourish. As the celebration continued around them, Samantha's thoughts turned to the future. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but as leaders of a new galactic civilization. The road ahead would not be easy, but for the first time in millennia, the galaxy looked to the future with hope rather than fear. The age of shadows and secrets was over. A new dawn of exploration, cooperation, and boundless possibility had begun. And humanity, once dismissed as primitive upstarts, now stood at the forefront of this grand adventure. As the first ships of the Federation fleet prepared to depart on missions of peaceful exploration, Samantha felt a sense of immense pride and excitement. The stars, once seeming so distant and forbidding, now beckoned with the promise of new friends, new challenges, and new horizons. The hunt was over. The time for building, for growing, for reaching out across the vastness of space with open hands rather than weapons, had begun. And humanity, adaptable, innovative, and ever curious, was ready to lead the way into this brave new future.